Hello, I'm Alex Bombert, and today I have another mushroom block farm to show you. Rates and world download are in the description. This farm is designed to maximize the rate of mushroom stem production and uses the player to harvest them with a Silk Touch axe. Stem blocks are a massive pain to get in survival without a specialized farm, as you may have to grow and harvest hundreds of giant mushrooms to get enough for even a single build. Thus, I created this farm which efficiently converts red mushrooms into stem blocks. It has a built-in mushroom and axe refresher, so you can run it for an arbitrary length of time, so long as it is stocked with axes, mushrooms, and bone meal. It is capable of processing just under 500 red mushrooms per hour, producing over 2,600 mushroom stem blocks. The area around the central column where the stems grow is filled with solid blocks, which delete the majority of the mushroom cap, so no time is wasted processing anything other than the stem blocks themselves. Instead of restricting the mushroom's growth, they are allowed to grow up to the maximum height of 13 blocks, and a conveyor moves the stems down to where they can be mined, which not only decreases the amount of bone meal needed for a successful growth attempt, but also increases the amount of stems obtained from each mushroom. To use the farm, you simply stand here with an axe in your main hand and red mushrooms in your offhand. Turn the farm on, then look up at this piston, and hold down left and right click. The blocks you mine will be collected by these three hoppers and this hopper minecart, and then the items will be funneled into the output. There are a few things to note while using this farm. You will want to make sure that your inventory is full, so you don't pick up any of the axes and mushrooms without using them. If you run out of mushrooms before you run out of bone meal, you will mine the trapdoor and have to replace it. This does not mean that the farm is broken, it's just something that it does. And this block here gets pushed in front of you to work around a bug that prevents stems from breaking, so it needs to be made out of a material that takes a long time to mine with the axe. And over here I included a chest with a materials list, so I will show you that before I get into demonstrating how the circuits actually work. The circuitry can be roughly divided up into the bits dealing with planting and bone mealing the mushrooms, the bits dealing with harvesting the mushrooms, and the axe and mushroom refresher, all of which are controlled by the block detection, which changes state based on whether or not there are mushroom blocks present in the farm. When a mushroom grows, the blocks conduct a signal to this piston, which pushes a redstone block into place, signaling different areas to put the farm into harvesting mode. The farm will remain in harvesting mode until the signal has been cut, and there are no blocks preventing this piston higher up from extending, which ensures that the farm does not reset before all blocks are cleared. When the piston extends, it triggers an observer, which signals this piston to push the redstone block back into place, setting the farm back into growth mode. The growing and planting circuitry is fairly straightforward. The small mushroom is placed against the trapdoor, which opens and shuts to prevent the player from trying to mine it. When the small mushroom is planted, bone meal in the dispenser is used, and the comparator loses a power level, which allows the signal strength 15 comparator to depower the sticky piston holding the trapdoor. This unobstructs the mushroom and allows it to grow to full size. When the detection triggers, it switches off the observer clock powering the dispenser, then locks it from a second point after some delay. This will later allow the block conveyor to fully turn off before another mushroom grows. The sticky piston with the trapdoor is also fully disabled to ensure that it does not activate while there are blocks in the farm. The block conveyor is made up of some pistons, which get pushed out, then pulsed by observers one after the other, using this chain of sticky pistons pushing blocks in front of repeaters and comparators to create delay. This chain is activated by this tower of sand blocks, which gets pushed up every time this piston receives an output from this system of comparators. The tower is then retracted when the conveyor finishes a cycle. The comparators use subtraction to keep the sticky piston in the Bonemeal circuit constantly powered, while selectively powering the output to the conveyor based on signal strength. This is activated once when the detection triggers, then again every time the conveyor finishes without clearing all of the blocks. When the observer clock is running, its bottom output is converted into a constant signal through this repeater line. This causes the axe refresher to pick up any axes currently dispensed and dispense a new one to prevent it from despawning. This piston then starts a second observer clock which cycles the mushrooms in a loop to ensure that the player never runs out. The order of the axe and mushrooms dispensing is important because it ensures that the axe is always the oldest item and will therefore be the first to be picked up if the current axe the player is holding breaks. When the stem grows and the observer clock is turned off, the mushrooms will stop being dispensed, but the axe will remain on the ground until the circuit is either reactivated or the farm is turned off, which triggers this safety switch to prevent items from despawning. So that's about it. I hope this video was enjoyable, and thank you for watching.